The Dragon Quest RPG series began way back in 1986, and with 11 games in its main franchise, it spawned books, an anime, and several spin-off games. Dragon Quest Builders is one such spin-off, and now its sequel, Dragon Quest Builders 2, has crafted its way onto the scene. For those new to the series, think Minecraft meets an RPG like Ni no Kuni, taking the best bits from each. From Minecraft, the resource gathering, building, and distinct blocky style, and from Ni no Kuni, the deep lore, epic narrative, and world management. Our story begins where all good stories do, in a dungeon. More specifically, a dungeon aboard a ship run by the Children of Hargon, a builder-hating group determined to eliminate all forms of creation, and the builders themselves. So, as an apprentice builder, it's fair to say today isn't going well. And things only get worse when a violent storm destroys the ship, marooning you on a desolate island called the Isle of Awakening with no rescue in sight. Thankfully though, you aren't alone. You're joined by the hot-headed amnesiac Malroth, fellow prisoner and survivor Lulu, and a mysterious spirit. They task you and your new friends with restoring this island and its neighbours to their former glory, as well as overthrowing the Children of Hargon's tyrannical regime. All in a day's work, really. The main way you progress is through fulfilling the requests of NPCs. This can be anything from collecting materials, growing and harvesting crops, to building specific rooms, like bedrooms and other facilities. Doing this grants you recipes for new items and improves the skills of the residents. You also get the physical gratitude of the town, literally showering you in love. I was caught a bit off guard the first couple of times this happened, but I'll admit it does start to grow on you and makes running errands feel that much more rewarding. Wish I got this kind of reception in real life. And sent. The star of the show is the building aspect itself, which does a great job of teaching you how to build pre-imagined structures, while still allowing you to have fun and really make your creations your own. Some structures need to follow a specific blueprint, made that much easier to understand thanks to a level-by-level breakdown and a list of resources required. At other times, you'll just be told what you need to put in a room to classify it as a particular space, such as an agricultural kitchen needing a chest, 3 stacks of wheat, 2 sets of firewood, and 3 bonfires. I really found myself enjoying the chances I got to build, because I felt like everything I did had a purpose, as opposed to just stacking blocks for the sake of it. You'll also be exploring the vast wilderness each island has to offer, whether that be by hopping around in fast travel or flying through the air. And good news for returning fans, you can sprint now. It does use up stamina, but it makes the world of difference as you ping between the different areas, making friends with all the locals. However, it's when the swords come out that some of the cracks begin to show. Without the option to block, dodge, or parry attacks, your only option is to shoulder the hit or do a combination bounce run away, which both looks and feels clumsy. Unlike the first game though, your weapons won't get damaged and break, which is fortunate because there is a lot of hacking and slashing to be done. Most of the time, I just defaulted to dancing around enemies while Malroth and occasionally other townsfolk traded blows with the baddies, only for me to swoop in at the last minute. While the combat isn't the main focus of this game, when everything else is working so well, its failings do stick out. What I did really enjoy though was the feeling of unity that's fostered between you and the townsfolk, as you begin to expand your skill set and your knowledge of building. NPCs can get a bit too chatty sometimes, and there were a few cutscenes that really could have done with a skip button, but that's pretty standard RPG stuff. However, once you've imparted your builder wisdom upon them, they become self-sustaining, able to grow crops and construct things themselves. You're then able to bring a handful of friends back to the Isle of Awakening, where you can begin carving it into your own personal utopia. There is also the option for online co-op, which unlocks later on, allowing you and up to 3 friends to build to your heart's content on the Isle of Awakening. Sadly though, you won't be able to buddy it up in the main story, which I would have liked to have seen. But you can upload snapshots of your creations to the bulletin board to share your in-game shenanigans with the online community and admire all the amazing things others have created. I find the gameplay loop in Dragon Quest Builders 2 of gathering resources, unlocking new recipes, and freeform building particularly satisfying. Because you can see the progress you're making and it always feels rewarding. My biggest complaint is the Flimsy Combat, which felt so far removed from the otherwise wonderful experience I had. But this is one game I can see myself coming back to for quite some time. I'm giving Dragon Quest Builders 2 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.